We now speak to the ANC's Chief Whip, Doris Dlakude. A very good evening to you, and thank you so much for joining us. She joins me on the phone. Your memories of the former minister in the presidency and spokesperson of the ANC, if you could just perhaps start with the earliest and why he made an impression on you.
Thank you very much, Tepiso, and good evening to you and the listeners at home. Let me start by correcting one thing. I'm not the Chief Whip of the ANC Parliament. I'm the
Deputy Chief Whip. Apologies.
Yes. Thank you very much. So, what I can say, Tepiso, is that Comrade Jackson Mthembu, I knew him from Mpumalanga, as we are both from Mpumalanga province. He was one of the leaders of our movement in the province. During that time, I know him as a comrade from far, but know him as my leader as well. So he then moved from the legislature to work at Lituli House as in communication unit. So from there, he was then deployed to Parliament, and he was the chairperson of the Environmental Affairs Portfolio Committee. When Comrade Stone Sizan, who was the chief whip, was then posted to Germany as the ambassador, Comrade Jackson Mthembu was deployed as the chief whip of the majority party in Parliament. So I was there as the deputy chief whip. I worked with him. It was very easy to work with him because I knew him as my leader. I had a great respect for him as my leader, so it was easy to work with him. And given his nature of having this jovial nature, so Comrade Jackson Mthembu, it was easy.
Okay, it was said that one of his most endearing qualities was the fact that he was loyal, but some of the most unsettling ones was just how much he was a stickler for detail, and he was very thorough in his work. What I also found interesting was that he could move from one role to the other with a certain amount of ease. Why do you think that is? Was it because of the principles?
Yes, Comrade Jackson Mthembu was a very principled person. He wouldn't compromise the principles of the ANC for anything. What he was doing was based on what he believed in, and also he defended what he believed in and the principles of the organization. So he was very loyal and very honest member of our organization.
Thank you so much for speaking to us, ANC Deputy Chief Whip Doris Dlakude. And just looking at that picture of Jackson Mthembu, it seems to have been taken at the election centre, the Rock as it's called, there at the Pretoria Showgrounds. And one of the things that was mentioned earlier on by his colleagues was that he's somebody who was always up at all hours of the night attending to whatever work had to be done. And political parties are also reacting with shock to the news of the passing of Minister Mthembu. Let's hear from them.